I thought I was sending a declaration of war to my lieutenant. The message was clear. Direct. Your territory ends at 5th Street. Cross that line again, and I'll bury you myself. I hit send without checking the contact name. My hands were shaking. Not from fear. From rage. Someone had hit one of my warehouses. Killed 2 of my people. Left a calling card with a wolf emblem. I knew exactly who it was. The Marchetti family. The Italian mob that controlled the West Side. So I texted what I thought was my second-in-command to mobilize our soldiers, to prepare for retaliation, to send a message that the Santos cartel doesn't forgive. But I didn't text Marco. I texted him. Dante Marchetti, the wolf himself. The reply came back in 30 seconds. Bold words for someone who just declared war on the wrong man. My blood went cold. Then hot. I checked the contact. Dante Marchetti. Oh, God. I just threatened the most dangerous man in the city. Directly. Personally. For 3 seconds, I considered damage control. An apology. Sorry. Wrong number. Would be humiliating, but it might save my life. Might save my people. Then his second message came through. 5th Street, you said? Interesting. I was thinking more like 3rd Street. Your warehouse on Maple? I'm standing outside it right now. Nice security system. Impressive. But not impressive enough. I was on my feet before I finished reading. My warehouse. He was my warehouse. I grabbed my gun from my desk drawer. My phone. My keys. You have 10 seconds to get away from my property before I arrive and put a bullet in your skull, I typed back. His response was instant. 9, 8, 7. He was counting down. The bastard was actually counting down like this was a game. My heart hammered as I sprinted to my car. The warehouse was 15 minutes away. Too far. Way too far. Another message. 3, 2, 1. Then my phone rang. His number. I answered while peeling out of my driveway. If you touch that building, I already did. His voice was deep. Controlled. Dangerously calm. Your alarm system is disabled. Your guards are taking a break. Voluntarily, of course. I simply made them an offer they couldn't refuse. You son of a... Language, Principessa. Is that any way to talk to someone who's about to make you a very generous offer? I don't want anything from you. You will. The line went dead. I made it to the warehouse in 12 minutes. Drove like hell. Ran every red light. But I was still too late. The scene when I arrived made my breath catch. 50 black SUVs, maybe more. They lined both sides of the street, parked in perfect formation like soldiers at attention. Each one gleaming under the streetlights. Each one carrying God knows how many armed men. My guards weren't taking a break. They were on their knees, hands behind their heads, surrounded by men in dark suits with assault rifles, and standing in front of my warehouse door, arms crossed, expression bored, was him, Dante Marchetti. I'd seen photos, surveillance footage, blurry images from a distance. None of it did him justice. He was massive, 6'3", maybe taller, built like he'd been carved from granite, dark hair slicked back, a jaw that could cut glass, and eyes cold, calculating, predatory eyes that locked onto mine the second I stepped out of my car. 13 minutes, he called out. Impressive. I expected 15. I kept my gun in my waistband. Didn't draw it. Not yet. Because I counted at least 100 men in my line of sight. If I pulled my weapon, I'd be dead before I got a shot off. Get away from my warehouse. He smiled. Actually smiled, like I'd told him a joke. Or what, Principessa? You'll shoot me? Go ahead. But you should know, the moment you pull that gun, 30 snipers currently positioned on the surrounding rooftops have orders to put you down. My jaw clenched. You brought snipers to threaten me. I brought snipers to protect you. Protect me. I laughed. It came out bitter. Harsh. From what? From yourself. He took a step forward. Just one. But it was enough to make every muscle in my body tense. You declared war on me, Reagan Santos. Did you think I wouldn't respond? He knew my name. Of course he did. This isn't a response. This is an invasion. No. Another step closer. An invasion would involve casualties. Notice how everyone here is still breathing? That's me showing restraint. Restraint? I gestured at my guards, on their knees. You held my men at gunpoint. Your men are unharmed. A little humiliated, perhaps, but alive, which is more than I can say for the 2 soldiers you lost in that attack on your warehouse last week. My blood went cold. You know about that. I know everything, Principessa. He was close now, 10 feet away, close enough that I could see the scar along his jaw. I know someone hit your operation. I know they left my family's emblem. And I know you assumed it was me. Wasn't it? No. Bullshit. Believe what you want. He tilted his head, studying me like I was a puzzle to solve. But ask yourself, if I wanted you dead, would you still be standing here? I hated that he had a point. Then who attacked my warehouse? That's what I'm here to discuss. You have an enemy, Reagan. A mutual enemy. Someone who wants both of us to go to war, to weaken each other, to take over both our territories while we're distracted. And you expect me to believe you came here out of the goodness of your heart? I expect you to believe I came here because war is bad for business. My business. And as much as I'd enjoy crushing you. His eyes traveled over me, slow and deliberate. I have better uses for my time. The way he said it sent heat crawling up my spine. Not fear. Something worse. Awareness. Get off my property, Marchetti. Not until we talk. We're talking now. No. You're posturing. I'm offering you an alliance. I laughed again. An alliance? With you? You have a better option? Your operation is bleeding money. Your territory's under attack. Your people are scared. He leaned in, voice dropping to something dangerous. Something that made my skin prickle. You're strong, Reagan. I'll give you that, but you're not strong enough to fight a war on 2 fronts. Watch me. His smile widened. I was hoping you'd say that. Inside. Now. He gestured to my warehouse door, like he owned it. This is my property, which is currently surrounded by my men. So unless you want to have this conversation in front of an audience, I suggest we move inside. Unless you're afraid to be alone with me. The challenge in his voice made my teeth grind. He knew exactly what he was doing. Knew I couldn't back down without looking weak. Fine. 5 minutes. I'll take as long as I need. I walked past him, shoulder checking him deliberately as I went. He didn't budge, didn't even shift his weight. Like I'd walked into a brick wall. Inside, the warehouse was dark. Empty. My latest shipment had been moved after the attack. Smart, considering. Dante followed me in. The door closed behind us with a heavy thud. We were alone. Talk, I said, turning to face him, keeping distance between us. You said we have a mutual enemy. Who? The Volkov Bratva. Russian mob. I should have known. Alexei Volkov has been making moves into both our territories for the past 6 months. Dante continued. Small hits. Strategic. Designed to look like each of us attacking the other. And you know this how? Because I caught one of his men. Before I killed him, he told me everything. The warehouse attack. Volkov's people. They planted my family's emblem to frame me. To start a war between the Santos cartel and the Marchetti family. I crossed my arms. Why should I believe you? Because I brought proof. He pulled out his phone, scrolled, then held it out to me. I didn't take it. Could be doctored. It's not. So you say. His jaw clenched. First sign of frustration I'd seen. Good. Let him feel what I felt. You're the most stubborn woman I've ever met, and you're the most arrogant man I've ever met. Or even. Something shifted in his expression. His eyes went cold, dark, dangerous. Let me make something very clear, Principessa. He closed the distance between us in 3 strides. I held my ground. I didn't come here to ask for your cooperation. I came to inform you that you will cooperate. Or what? I tilted my chin up, meeting his glare, head on. You'll kill me? Go ahead. But you should know, the moment I don't check in with my people in the next 10 minutes, they have orders to burn your entire West Side operation to the ground. His hand shot out, gripped my jaw. Not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough to show dominance. You don't give me ultimatums. I smiled, cold, sharp. You don't touch me without permission. My hand was around his wrist in a second. Nails digging in. I'd been trained by the best. Knew exactly where to apply pressure, to cause maximum pain. He didn't flinch. You're fast, he said, voice low. but not fast enough. His other hand caught my free wrist, twisted. Suddenly, I was spun around, back pressed against his chest, both my arms immobilized. He was strong, stronger than I'd anticipated. Let me go. Not until you listen. His breath was hot against my ear. I don't want to be your enemy, Reagan, but I will be if you force my hand. Rage exploded through me. Pure white-hot fury. I slammed my head back into his face, heard the satisfying crunch of impact. His grip loosened, just enough. I twisted free, grabbed the knife from my boot, and spun to face him. Blood dripped from his nose. He wiped it away with the back of his hand, then looked at the blood, then at me, and smiled. There she is, the Iron Queen. I've heard so much about. You want a war, Marchetti? I'll give you a fucking war. I don't want a war. I want an alliance. Then you should have tried asking instead of threatening. I did ask. You said no, because your offer was you telling me what I will do. That's not an offer. That's an order. And I don't take orders from anyone. Neither do I. We stared at each other, both breathing hard, both refusing to back down. This was insane. He could kill me right now. I could try to kill him. We'd both probably die in the resulting bloodbath. But neither of us moved. This is why Volkov targeted us, Dante said finally, voice still rough. He knew we'd never work together. Knew we're too fucking stubborn to see past our own pride. Maybe we are. Or maybe we're smart enough to recognize when we're being played. He had a point. I hated that he had a point. Even if I believed you about Volkov, I said carefully. What exactly are you proposing? Some kind of truce? More than a truce. A partnership. Temporary. Until we eliminate the threat. And after we go back to our corners. Respect the territory lines. Coexist. You expect me to trust you? No. I expect you to be pragmatic. You're losing money, losing soldiers, losing ground. Swallow your pride for 2 weeks. Help me take down Volkov. Then we part ways. 2 weeks. With him. Working together. Every instinct screamed at me to say no. To tell him to go to hell. To maintain my independence at all costs. But the logical part of my brain, the part that had kept me alive this long, whispered something different. He was right. I was losing. Not quickly, not obviously. But I was bleeding out slowly. And if Volkov was behind it, I couldn't fight both fronts alone. 2 weeks? I said finally. That's it. After that, if you set foot on my territory, I won't. You have my word. The word of a mobster. How comforting. He laughed. Actually laughed. The sound was dark, rich, unexpected. You really don't like me, do you? I don't know you well enough to like or dislike you. But I know your reputation, and I know men like you don't offer alliances without strings attached. Smart woman. He moved closer again. This time I didn't step back. Didn't show weakness. There is one condition. Of course there is. For the next 2 weeks you move into my estate. Under my protection. Absolutely not. It's not negotiable. Everything's negotiable. Not this. If we're doing this, we're doing it right. That means you, where I can see you, where I can protect you, where Volkov can't get to you. I can protect myself. Your 2 dead soldiers suggest otherwise. Low blow. My hands clenched into fists. You're asking me to abandon my territory, my people, to live in your house, under your roof, under your control. Do you have any idea how that looks? It looks like you're smart enough to accept help when you need it. I don't need your help, but you're going to take it anyway. Because you're not just thinking about your pride. You're thinking about your people. And keeping them alive is worth more than your ego. Damn him. Damn him for being right. Fine. 2 weeks. But I bring my own security detail. And I come and go as I please. And you stay out of my way. Agreed. On one condition. Another one? You follow my rules while you're under my roof. I laughed. Actually laughed. Your rules? What am I, a child? My house. My rules. That's the deal. We stood there, 2 predators in the dark, neither willing to show weakness. Finally, I held out my hand. 2 weeks. Then we're done. He looked at my hand, then at my face. Then he gripped my hand in his. His palm was warm. Calloused. Strong. 2 weeks. he agreed. Something in his voice made my stomach twist, made heat curl low in my belly. This was a mistake. I knew it was a mistake, but I shook his hand anyway. The Marchetti estate wasn't what I expected. I'd pictured something ostentatious, gold fixtures, marble everywhere, the kind of gaudy display of wealth that screamed, I'm compensating for something. Instead, it was understated, elegant, a sprawling compound hidden behind high walls and armed security. The main house was modern, all clean lines and floor-to-ceiling windows that probably cost more than my entire warehouse. Dante's men carried my bags inside. I'd packed light. 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. I could survive anything for 2 weeks. Your room is upstairs, Dante said, leading me through the foyer. East wing. Private bathroom. Balcony. Overlooking the gardens. My room is west wing. Opposite side of the house. Trying to keep distance between us. Trying to keep you from killing me in my sleep. Fair point. We climbed the stairs in silence. His house was eerily quiet. Too quiet. Where were the sounds of family? Staff? Other people? You live here alone? I asked. Mostly. I have staff, but they're discreet. You won't see them unless you need something. Lonely way to live. He glanced back at me. Says the woman who operates out of a warehouse. I have an apartment that you never sleep in. I've seen the surveillance reports. You've been watching me? Of course I have. Know your enemy. First rule of survival. I'm not your enemy anymore. Apparently, we're partners. Partners. He tested the word like it tasted strange. Is that what we're calling this? What would you call it? He stopped at a door. Pushed it open. A necessary evil. The room was beautiful, spacious. King-sized bed with black silk sheets. Modern furniture. That promised balcony with a view of manicured gardens lit by moonlight. It's nice, I admitted grudgingly. High praise from the Iron Queen. He leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. We start tomorrow. 6 a.m. I'll brief you on everything I know about Volkov's operation. 6 a.m.? Seriously? You're not a morning person? I'm not a taking orders person. Then we're going to have a very long 2 weeks. He pushed off the frame, turned to leave, then paused. One more thing. What? My mother is coming to dinner tomorrow night. I blinked. Your mother? She visits once a week. Sunday dinners. Family tradition. She'll want to meet you. Why would she want to meet me? Because you're staying in my house. And if I don't introduce you, she'll assume you're... He trailed off. She'll assume I'm what? His jaw worked. Someone I'm seeing. Romantically. Heat crawled up my neck. Then tell her the truth. That we're business associates. I will. But she won't believe me. Why not? Because I've never brought a woman to this house. Ever. So her coming to dinner will only confirm whatever suspicions she already has. Oh. Oh no. So don't invite her. She's my mother. I can't uninvite her to Sunday dinner. Then I'll skip it. She'll take that as an insult. And trust me, you don't want to insult Rosa Marchetti. I groaned. This just gets better and better. Welcome to the family business, Principessa. You left before I could throw something at him. I didn't sleep that night. Partially because I was in enemy territory. Partially because my mind wouldn't shut off. This was insane. Everything about this was insane. I was sleeping under Dante Marchetti's roof. Eating his food. Trusting him not to kill me in my sleep. And tomorrow I'd meet his mother. His mother. I texted Marco, my second in command. How's the territory? His response came immediately. Quiet. Too quiet. No hits since you left. That confirmed it. Volkov was waiting, watching to see what we'd do. Keep everyone on high alert. I'll check in daily. You sure about this, boss? Marchetti's dangerous. So am I. That's what worries me. 6 a.m. came too fast. I found Dante in what I could only call a war room. Massive table covered in maps, photos, documents. Screens on the walls showing security feeds. This wasn't just a home. It was a command center. He looked up when I entered. He was wearing dark slacks, a white dress shirt rolled to the elbows. No tie, hair still slightly damp from a shower. He looked unfairly good for 6 a.m. Coffee's on the counter, he said, gesturing behind me. I poured myself a cup. Black, strong, Italian, judging by the taste. All right. I said, joining him at the table. Show me what you have. For the next 2 hours, he walked me through everything. Volkov's known locations, his suppliers, his distribution network, the hits on both our territories over the past 6 months, patterns, connections, evidence. It was thorough, impressive, almost obsessive in its detail. You really have been tracking this, I said. I told you. I know everything, except how to ask nicely for help. His mouth twitched, almost a smile. I'm working on it. Work harder. We spent the morning strategizing, arguing, compromising. It was strange, good, strange. We thought alike, moved alike, finished each other's tactical assessments. If he wasn't a ruthless mob boss, and I wasn't a territorial drug lord, we might actually work well together. Dangerous thought. You fight like you've been trained, Dante said during a break. Military, special forces, Marines, 3 tours before I came home. His eyebrows rose. Impressive. I didn't do it for praise. I did it to learn how to survive, how to kill. And then you took over your father's cartel. He left me no choice. He was weak, got himself killed. Someone had to step up, and that someone was you. I'm his only child, his only heir. The cartel would have fractured without strong leadership. I provided it. You took control at what? 25? 24. And you're still alive 6 years later. That says something. It says I'm very good at not dying. He studied me, across the table. Why do you do it? The cartel, the violence. You could walk away, start over. Could you? That's different. How? We're both trapped by family legacy. Both trying to survive in a world that wants us dead. Both willing to do whatever it takes to protect what's ours. You sound like you've thought about this. Every night for 6 years. Something shifted in his expression. Understanding, maybe, or recognition. You ever wonder what life would be like if we'd been born into different families? He asked quietly. No, because I'd still be me, and you'd still be you. We'd find our way to power, one way or another. It's what we do. Power, he tasted the word. Is it worth it? Ask me in 2 weeks. Sunday dinner was a disaster waiting to happen. Rosa Marchetti was a tiny woman with iron gray hair, sharp eyes, and a smile that promised both warmth and danger. She reminded me of my own grandmother, ruthless when necessary, but loving to those she claimed. So, she said, settling into her chair at the dinner table, you're Reagan Santos. I am. The Iron Queen. I've heard stories. I'm sure you have. Dante tells me you're here on business. I glanced at Dante. He was suddenly very interested in his wine glass. That's correct, I said carefully. Business. Rosa's eyes sparkled with amusement. My son has never brought a woman to this house for business before. Mama, Dante warned. What? I'm just making an observation. Well, observe quietly. Rosa laughed, patted his hand like he was a child, then turned back to me. He likes you. I can tell. With respect, Mrs. Marchetti, your son and I are working together to eliminate a mutual threat. Nothing more. Call me Rosa, and I'll call you a liar if you tell me there's nothing between you two. Mama. Oh, hush, Dante. I'm old. I'm allowed to be nosy. She leaned forward, conspiratorial. He looks at you the way his father looked at me. My stomach did a strange flip. I don't think. Like you're a puzzle he's trying to solve. Like you're dangerous and fascinating in equal measure. Like if he looks away for even a second, you'll disappear. I glanced at Dante. He was staring at his plate, jaw clenched, a muscle ticking in his cheek. Was that true? Did he look at me that way? Rosa, I said carefully. I assure you Dante and I are stubborn. Both of you. Too proud to admit what's obvious. She waved a hand dismissively. But that's fine. Love always starts with denial. This isn't love. Not yet. But it will be. After dinner, after Rosa finally left, with far too many knowing looks and pointed comments, I found Dante on the back terrace. He was smoking a cigar, staring out at the gardens. Your mother is terrifying, I said, joining him. She means well. She thinks we're going to fall in love. She thinks everyone is going to fall in love. She's a romantic. And you're not? He took a long drag, exhaled smoke into the night air. I'm a realist. Love is a weakness, a liability, Something enemies can exploit. Sounds lonely. It's safe. We stood in silence for a moment. The night was cool, quiet, almost peaceful. For what it's worth, I said. I don't plan on falling in love with you either. Good. That makes two of us. Perfect. We're in agreement. Complete agreement. Another pause. So why do you keep looking at me like that? I asked. He turned to face me. Like what? Like your mother said. Like I'm a puzzle you're trying to solve. Maybe you are. I'm not that complicated. You're the most complicated woman I've ever met. He stepped closer. Just one step. But it felt like the distance between us shrank by miles. You're a contradiction. Hard as steel on the outside. But I see the way you checked your phone during dinner. The way you worry about your people. You're not as cold as you pretend to be. And you're not as controlled as you pretend to be. No? No. You've been clenching your jaw for the past hour. You do that when you're frustrated, when something's not going according to plan. And what's not going according to plan? Me. I'm not behaving the way you expected. Not scared of you, not impressed by your power, not intimidated by your reputation. That's what makes you dangerous. Good. I'd hate to be predictable. He was close now. Close enough that I could smell his cologne. See the flecks of gold in his dark eyes. Count the stitches in the scar along his jaw. This is a bad idea, he said quietly. What is? Whatever this is. This pull between us. I don't know what you're talking about. Liar. Takes one to know one. His hand came up, cupped my jaw, just like he'd done in the warehouse. But gentler this time. Testing, not demanding. Tell me to stop, he murmured. Stop what? You're not doing anything. Yet. My heart hammered. My breath shortened. Every instinct screamed at me to pull away, to maintain control, to not show weakness. But I didn't move. Your mother was wrong, I whispered. This isn't love. No, it's worse. What is it? Mutual destruction waiting to happen. Then his phone rang. He pulled back immediately, cursing under his breath. Answered it. What? His expression went dark, dangerous. When? How many? I'll be there in 10 minutes. He hung up, looked at me. Volkov just hit one of my shipments. 3 dead. 5 million in product stolen. He's moving faster than we thought. He knows we're working together. He's escalating. Then we escalate back. Dante smiled. A cold, predatory smile. Now you're speaking my language. 4 days passed. 4 days of strategy sessions. Surveillance. Planning our counterattack against Volkov. 4 days of living in Dante's house. Eating his food. Working side by side. 4 days of pretending I didn't notice the way he watched me when he thought I wasn't looking. We fell into a routine. Morning briefings over coffee. Afternoons coordinating our people. Evenings reviewing intelligence reports. Late nights on the terrace, smoking cigars and arguing about tactics. It was almost comfortable, which terrified me more than any threat Volkov could pose. You're doing it again, Dante said one morning. I looked up from the map I'd been studying. Doing what? That thing where you chew your bottom lip when you're thinking. You've been staring at that same intersection for 10 minutes. It's a choke point. If we hit Volkov's supply route here, we cut off his entire distribution network for the east side. Agreed. But it's too obvious. He'll expect it. He'll have it fortified. So we hit him where he doesn't expect. Simultaneously, I met his eyes. We were thinking the same thing. The port, we said in unison. He smiled. I tried not to notice how it transformed his face, made him look younger, less dangerous. Almost handsome. No, not handsome. That implied I was attracted to him, which I wasn't, definitely wasn't. We move tomorrow night, Dante said. My men will take the port. Yours hit the intersection as a diversion. Why do your men get the primary target? Because it's on my territory. And my men are what? The distraction. Strategic diversion. There's a difference. My people aren't cannon fodder for your operation. Marchetti, his jaw tightened. I never said they were. You're treating them like it. Giving them the dangerous job while yours get the glory. The port is dangerous. More dangerous than the intersection. I'm not asking your people to take the harder job. I'm offering to take it myself. Oh, how noble. The big strong man protects the weak little woman and her people. That's not what I. He stood up, hands flat on the table. You're twisting my words. I'm interpreting your actions. You want control. You always want control, even when we're supposed to be partners. We are partners. That's why I'm discussing this with you instead of just giving orders. Discussing? You mean telling me what you've already decided and expecting me to agree? Do you have a better plan? Yes. My people take the port. Yours take the intersection. Absolutely not. Why? Because you don't trust me to lead the primary assault? Because. He stopped, took a breath. Because the port is a kill zone. Narrow access points. Limited cover. High chance of casualties. And I'm not sending you into that. Oh. Oh. You're trying to protect me, I said slowly. I'm trying to minimize casualties on both sides. Bullshit. You're specifically trying to keep me out of danger. Is that a problem? Yes. That's exactly the problem. We agreed to be partners. Equals. But you're still treating me like I'm some fragile thing that needs protecting. You're not fragile, but you're also not invincible. None of us are. I've been in combat. Real combat. I've led my people through situations far worse than a port assault. I don't need you deciding what I can and can't handle. This isn't about what you can handle. Then what is it about? He didn't answer. Just stared at me with those dark, intense eyes that seemed to see right through every wall I'd built. Say it, I demanded. Tell me why you're really trying to keep me away from the fight. Because I can't afford to lose you. The words hung in the air between us. Can't afford to lose me, I repeated. Because I'm valuable to the operation? Yes. Liar. His hands clenched into fists. Reagan, you're lying to yourself if you think this is just about strategy. Just about the alliance. What else would it be about? You tell me. He pulled out his phone, typed something, hit send. My phone buzzed a second later. I looked at the message, then at him. You already gave the orders. Before we even had this conversation. You told your men to take the port and mine to hit the intersection. I made a command decision. You made my decision. For my people. Without consulting me. I consulted you. Right now. After you'd already decided. After you'd already given the orders. My voice rose. I couldn't help it. This is exactly what I was afraid of. You saying we're partners but treating me like a subordinate. I'm trying to keep you alive. I don't need you to keep me alive. I need you to respect me enough to let me make my own choices. Even if those choices get you killed, especially then. Because they're mine to make. We were both breathing hard, standing too close. The tension between us crackling like electricity. You're impossible, he said, voice rough. You're insufferable, stubborn, control freak, reckless, overbearing, infuriating, arrogant. His hand shot out, gripped the back of my neck, pulled me in. Our mouths collided. It wasn't gentle, wasn't sweet. It was fierce and desperate and angry and hungry all at once. I kissed him back, just as hard, fisted my hands in his shirt. Let 6 days of tension explode into this. He tasted like coffee and cigar smoke, and danger. His other hand found my waist, pulled me flush against him. I could feel every hard plane of his body. The coiled strength, the barely controlled power. This was insane. We were supposed to be partners. Allies. This crossed every line we'd drawn. I should stop this. I should pull away. I should. He broke the kiss first, rested his forehead against mine. Both of us panting. This can't happen. He said, I know. We have a deal. 2 weeks. Then we go our separate ways. I know. This complicates everything. I know. Neither of us moved. We should stop, he murmured. We should. His thumb traced my jawline. Why aren't we stopping? Because we're both self-destructive idiots who can't resist a bad idea. He laughed. Low and dark, and entirely too appealing. Most accurate thing you've said all week. Then his phone rang again. We sprang apart like teenagers caught by parents. He answered it, listened, his expression going from heated to cold in seconds. When? How many? Son of a bitch! He hung up, looked at me. Volkov hit both our territories. Simultaneously. While we were here planning, 6 dead on my side, 4 on yours. The heat drained from my body. Replaced by ice-cold rage. He's playing us. He's been playing us since the beginning. While we're here arguing about who gets to lead the assault, he's cutting us apart piece by piece. This is your fault, I said. His eyes went cold. Excuse me, if you hadn't wasted time trying to control me, trying to protect me, we could have hit him first. But no, you had to make unilateral decisions, had to give orders without consulting me, and now, 10 people are dead. You think I don't know that? His voice rose. You think I don't feel every death, every mistake? Then stop making them. Stop trying to be the hero and start being my partner. I am your partner. No, you're my babysitter, my warden, my self-appointed protector. But you're not my partner, because partners trust each other, and you don't trust me. That's not true, isn't it? You gave orders to my people without my permission. You made plans for my operation without consulting me. You kissed me and immediately regretted it. Everything you do screams, I don't trust you to make the right choices. You want to know why I don't trust you? He closed the distance between us, voice dropping to something dangerous. Because I see the way you lead. Reckless, fearless, like you have nothing to lose, like you want to die in battle. That's not. You take risks that no sane commander would take. You put yourself in danger constantly. You lead from the front because you're trying to prove something. To yourself, to your people, maybe to your dead father. I don't know, but I do know that your self-destructive need to prove you're strong enough is going to get you killed. The words hit like physical blows. Because they were true. Get out, I said quietly. Reagan, get out of my sight before I do something we'll both regret. He stared at me for a long moment, then turned and walked out. The door closed behind him with a soft click. I was alone. And for the first time in 6 years, I felt like I was drowning. He was right. About all of it. I did have a death wish. Did take unnecessary risks. Did lead like someone with nothing to lose. Because I didn't have anything to lose. Not really. No family. No friends outside the cartel. No life outside this endless war for territory and power. Just survival. Day after day after day. And Dante had seen through it in less than a week. I sank into a chair, head in my hands. This alliance was supposed to be simple. 2 weeks. Kill Volkov. Go our separate ways. But nothing about this was simple anymore. We didn't speak for 12 hours. I stayed in my room. He stayed in his. But war doesn't pause for personal drama. At 3 a.m., my phone exploded with alerts. Marco, boss, we have a problem. Big problem. I called him immediately. Talk. Volkov knows where you are. He just sent a message to your apartment. Said if you don't leave Marchetti's protection within 24 hours, he'll burn your entire operation to the ground. Every warehouse. Every safe house. Everyone on your payroll. Ice flooded my veins. How does he know where I am? I don't know. But he sent proof. Photos of you entering the Marchetti estate. Time-stamped. From 4 different angles. Someone was watching. Someone close enough to get surveillance. A leak. We had a leak. Lock down everything, I ordered. Move the product. Evacuate the safe houses. Get our people somewhere secure. Already on it. But boss, he specifically named 12 people. Your inner circle. Said if you don't comply, they're dead by dawn. My blood turned to ice. 12 names. People who'd been loyal to me for years. People I'd sworn to protect. Send me the list. He did. I recognized every name. Every face. He's calling your bluff, Marco said quietly. Testing whether you value the alliance with Marchetti more than your own people. It's not a bluff. Then what do you do? I closed my eyes. 12 lives. 12 people who trusted me versus an alliance that might end this war. No, versus an alliance with a man who didn't trust me, who saw me as reckless, self-destructive, liability. The choice should have been easy. I'll handle it, I said. Keep everyone safe. I'll call you in an hour. I hung up, stared at the list of names on my screen. Then I got dressed, grabbed my gun, started packing. I made it halfway down the stairs before Dante appeared. He was still dressed. Hadn't slept, either, apparently. Where are you going? He asked. None of your business. You're leaving. I'm going back to my territory, where I should have stayed in the first place. Volkov contacted you. Not a question. A statement. How did you? Because he contacted me too. Said, if I don't hand you over within 24 hours, He'll kill everyone in my organization, starting with my mother. My stomach dropped. Rosa. She's safe. I have her in a secure location with 50 guards. But he knows how to hurt me. Just like he knows how to hurt you. He moved down the stairs. Slowly. Deliberately. This is what he wants, Dante continued. He wants us separated. Wants us scared. Wants us making emotional decisions instead of strategic ones. 12 of my people will die if I don't leave. And 100 of mine will die if you do. He's playing us against each other. Then what do you suggest? We let our people die to prove a point? I suggest we kill him. Tonight. Now. Before he can make good on his threats. With what intel? What plan? We don't even know where he is. Yes, we do. Dante pulled out his phone, showed me a location pin. One of my contacts just confirmed. Volkov's at his warehouse, on the docks. He'll be there for the next 2 hours, conducting a buy with the Bratva leadership from Moscow. That's insane. We can't just assault. Why not? He's threatening everyone we care about. He's forcing our hand. So let's call his bluff. It's not a bluff. He'll kill them. Not if he's dead first. I stared at him. You're serious? Completely. You and me. 20 of my best men. 20 of yours. We hit him hard and fast, before he knows we're coming. That's suicide. That's war. He stepped closer. You said you wanted to be treated like a partner. An equal. So I'm asking you, partner to partner, will you fight beside me tonight? I should have said no. Should have walked away. Should have protected my people the safe way. But he was right about one thing. I had a death wish, and maybe it was time to use it for something worthwhile. On one condition. I said, name it. I lead the assault. Not you. Me. His jaw clenched. Reagan, you said we're partners. Equals. Prove it. Let me lead. The last time you led, I know. I'm reckless. Self-destructive. Trying to die in battle. You made your opinion very clear. But those are my people. Volkov's threatening, so I'm going to be the one to end him. You can either trust me to do it right, or get out of my way. We stared at each other, 2 predators, 2 challengers, neither willing to submit. Finally, he nodded. You lead. I follow. But if this goes sideways, then we die together. Fair enough? Fair enough. 40 men. 40 of the deadliest people in the city, all converging on Volkov's warehouse at 4 a.m. The plan was simple. Get in. Kill everyone. Get out. No mercy. No prisoners. No hesitation. I'd never felt more alive. We moved in silence. My people from the east. Dante's from the west. Surrounding the building. Cutting off all exits. I signaled. 3, 2, 1. Breach. Chaos erupted. Gunfire. Shouting. Men falling. Blood. I moved through it like I'd been born for it. Which maybe I had been. 2 men rushed me. I dropped the first with a headshot. The second got close enough to grab me. Mistake. I broke his wrist. Took his gun. Put 3 rounds in his chest. Kept moving. Volkov's men were good. Professional. Well-trained. But they weren't ready for 40 people who had nothing left to lose. We cut through them like a knife through butter. I found Volkov in the back office, trying to escape through a window. Going somewhere? I asked. He spun. Gun in hand. Fired. I was faster. My shot took him in the shoulder. He went down. Hard. I crossed the room. Kicked his gun away. Pressed my boot to his throat. You threatened my people, I said calmly. Bad decision. He laughed. Blood on his teeth. You think this ends with me? The Bratva will come for you both. Let them come. I raised my gun, and then the world exploded. The blast threw me backward. Ears ringing. Vision blurred. Smoke everywhere. Secondary explosions. The building was rigged. Volkov had been waiting for us. Knew we'd come. Set a trap. I tried to stand. Couldn't. My leg wasn't working right. Blood. Too much blood. Reagan! Dante's voice. Somewhere in the smoke. I'm here. He appeared through the haze. Face covered in soot. Blood running from a cut above his eye. He grabbed me. Pulled me up. We have to go. Now. The whole building's going to... Another explosion. Closer. The ceiling groaned. We ran, or he ran. I limped. He half carried me. My people. His people. Everyone scrambling for the exits. We made it outside. Barely. The warehouse collapsed behind us. Fire. Debris. Screaming. I counted heads. 22 people. We'd brought 40. 18 dead. Because I'd led the assault. Because I'd insisted on doing it my way. Because I'd been reckless and self-destructive in exactly what Dante had accused me of being. Volkov? I asked. Dead. Buried under the building. The threat? Neutralized. His networks crippled. His people scattered. We won. Won. We'd won. So why did it feel like I'd lost everything? Marco appeared. Bleeding. But alive. Boss. We have a problem. Another one. The explosion. It was caught on camera. Traffic cams. Security footage. Cell phone videos from witnesses. The media's running with it. Your face. His face. Both of you. Leading an assault on a Russian warehouse. Oh no. Oh God, no. The police? I asked. Already mobilizing. Warrants. Issued. For both of you. Murder. Racketeering. RICO charges. Everything. I looked at Dante. He looked at me. We're blown, he said quietly. Everything we've built. Everything we've protected. It's over. Not over. But it's about to get a lot more complicated. Sirens wailed in the distance. Getting closer. We have to run, I said. I know. Split up. Go separate ways. Like we planned. Reagan. You said 2 weeks. Then we're done. Well, time's up, Marchetti. Alliance over. I turned to walk away. His hand caught my wrist. Don't. Don't do this. Don't run. Not from me. I'm not running from you. I'm running from the consequences of my own recklessness. You were right. About everything. I am self-destructive. I do have a death wish, and I almost got you killed. Because of it. I made my own choice to follow you, and I made mine to lead. This is my fault. My responsibility. So I'm going to fix it. The only way I know how. Which is by disappearing. By taking the heat. By making sure your family doesn't pay for my mistakes. I pulled free. Started walking. Reagan. He called after me. Damn it, don't. But I was already gone. Into the smoke. Into the darkness. Into whatever came next. Alone. Like I'd always been. Like I was always meant to be. I made it 3 days. 3 days in a safe house. On the outskirts of the city. 3 days of watching the news. Watching my face plastered across every channel. Suspected drug lord. Murderer. Fugitive. They weren't wrong. Marco checked in daily. Gave me updates. I didn't want to hear. The cartel was fracturing. Without me there to hold it together, my lieutenants were turning on each other. Territory I'd spent 6 years building was crumbling in 72 hours. And Dante's organization wasn't faring much better. The Marchetti family was under federal investigation. Assets frozen. Key members arrested. Rosa was in hiding. Dante himself had disappeared. We destroyed each other, just like he'd predicted. Mutual destruction waiting to happen. I sat in the dark. Gun on the table beside me. Bottle of whiskey in my hand. This was it. This was rock bottom. Everything I'd built, everyone I'd tried to protect, gone. Because I'd been too proud, too stubborn, too determined to prove I didn't need anyone. The knock on the door made me reach for my gun. Reagan. It's Marco. Open up. I let him in. He looked exhausted. Defeated. We can't hold much longer, he said without preamble. The Bratva's moving in. The police are closing in. And without you, he trailed off. Without me what? They fall apart? Good. Maybe they should. Maybe I was holding them back. You don't believe that, don't I? Look what happened when I led. 18 people dead. Our entire operation exposed. The man I was working with vanished rather than face the consequences with me. Marchetti didn't vanish. He's been looking for you. My head snapped up. What? He's been calling. Texting. Showing up at places he thinks you might be. He's got half his remaining organization searching the city for you. Why? Marco gave me a look. You really don't know? After Marco left, I sat with that information. Dante was looking for me. Not to kill me, Not to turn me in. Not to blame me. Just looking. I pulled out my phone, stared at his contact. 12 missed calls. 37 text messages. I opened them. Where are you? Reagan, answer me. I know you're reading these. Don't shut me out. This wasn't your fault. We're in this together. Remember? I'm not giving up on you. Even if you've given up on yourself. Please, just let me know you're alive. The last one was from an hour ago. I'm sorry. For everything I said. You were right. About all of it. I didn't trust you. Didn't treat you like a partner. I was trying to control you. Because I was terrified of losing you. And I lost you anyway. I'm sorry. My hands shook. I'd spent 3 days convincing myself I was better off alone. That needing someone was weakness. That running was strength. But sitting here in the dark, drinking myself numb, wasn't strength. It was cowardice. I can't keep doing this. I said to the empty room. I can't keep running from Beverly that scares me. Can't keep pushing away anyone who tries to get close. Can't keep pretending I'm strong enough to survive alone. Because the truth was, I wasn't. The truth was, I'd been drowning for 6 years. And the only time I'd felt like I could breathe was when I was with him. I made a decision. Not from pride. Not from fear. Not from my need to prove anything. Just from truth. I texted Dante. I'm sorry too. For running. For pushing you away. For almost getting you killed. You were right about me. I do have a death wish. I have been trying to die in battle. Because I forgot what I was living for. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. The response came in seconds. Where are you? I sent him the address. I'm coming. Don't move. Dante. What? I typed slowly. Carefully. Words I'd never said to anyone. I need help. I can't do this alone anymore. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. You're not alone. You never were. I'm 10 minutes away. While I waited, I thought about everything that had happened. The alliance. The kiss. The fight. The assault. The explosion. All of it led here. To this moment. To this choice. I'd spent my entire life believing that needing someone made me weak. That vulnerability was death. That the only way to survive was to be harder, stronger, more ruthless than everyone else. But what had it gotten me? A crumbling empire. Dead soldiers. A target on my back. And complete isolation. Strength without connection wasn't strength at all. It was just emptiness. Dante had seen that. Had seen through my armor to the truth underneath. I was terrified. Not of death. Not of losing power. Of being known. Being seen. Being vulnerable. And he'd seen me anyway. The question was, could I let him keep seeing me? Could I let anyone in? Could I learn to be strong and connected? The knock on the door came exactly 10 minutes later. I opened it. Dante stood there, looking like he'd run the whole way. Hair disheveled, shirt untucked, eyes wild. You're okay, he breathed. I'm not even close to okay. But you're alive. For now, he stepped inside, closed the door, locked it. We stood there, 2 fugitives, 2 people who'd lost everything. I meant what I said, he told me quietly. This wasn't your fault. I chose to follow you. Chose to trust your plan. If it was anyone's fault, it was mine for not having better intel. We both made mistakes. We did. But we made them together. As partners. Some partnership. We destroyed each other. No, we destroyed our old lives. There's a difference. I don't know how to do this. I admitted. How to be vulnerable. How to accept help. How to need someone without feeling like I'm losing myself. Neither do I. You're supposed to have answers. I'm supposed to have control. But control is just another word for fear, isn't it? Fear of vulnerability. Fear of needing someone. Fear of being hurt. He moved closer, slow, careful, like approaching a wild animal. I've been thinking, he continued, about what you said, about me not trusting you. You were right. I didn't trust you. Not because you're not capable, but because I was terrified that if I let you fight, you'd get hurt, and losing you would destroy me. My breath caught. Dante, I know it's too soon. We barely know each other. We're from enemy families. We're fugitives with warrants and the Russian mob and the FBI all hunting us. This is the worst possible time to feel this way. Feel what way? He cupped my face in his hands. Gentle. Reverent. Like you're the only person in the world who understands me, who matches me, who challenges me, and terrifies me and makes me want to be better. Like losing you would be worse than losing everything else combined. Tears stung my eyes. I never cried. Not once in 6 years. But I was crying now. I feel it too, I whispered. And it terrifies me. Because everyone I've ever cared about has either died or left. And I don't know if I can survive losing you. And don't lose me. Stay. Fight with me. Not against me. With me. Against what? We've already lost everything. Not everything. We still have each other. And maybe that's enough to build something new, something better than what we had before. You're talking about starting over. I'm talking about becoming who we were always meant to be. Together. He was right. We'd been destroying ourselves separately for years. Trying to prove we didn't need anyone. Trying to be strong enough to survive alone. But maybe real strength wasn't about being alone. Maybe it was about choosing to be together, choosing vulnerability, choosing trust, even when it was terrifying. I'm scared, I admitted. Me too. I don't know how to do this, how to be with someone, how to be a partner, a real one. Neither do I. So we'll figure it out together. We'll make mistakes, fight, probably threaten to kill each other weekly. But we'll do it together. I laughed. It came out wet, broken. This is insane. Completely insane. We're going to fail. Probably. We might hate each other by the end. Or we might not. Only one way to find out. He leaned his forehead against mine. So what do you say, Principessa? Want to take a chance on mutual destruction? See if we can turn it into mutual construction instead. I closed my eyes. Felt his breath on my skin. Felt his warmth. His strength. His vulnerability. And made my choice. Yes. The kiss was different this time. Not desperate. Not angry. Not trying to prove anything. Just real. When we finally broke apart, I felt steadier, grounded, like I'd found something I didn't know I was looking for. So, I said, 2 fugitives with nothing but each other, and about 47 federal charges between us. What's the plan? He smiled. I thought you'd never ask. We spent the next hour strategizing, really strategizing. As equals, as partners. No ego, no power plays, no trying to control or protect or dominate. Just 2 incredibly smart, incredibly dangerous people putting their heads together. We can't stay in the city, Dante said. Too hot. Every cop, every Fed, every remaining Bradva soldier is looking for us. Agreed. We need to disappear. Completely. I have contacts. People who specialize in new identities. New lives. We could be ghosts within 48 hours. And our people? Marco? Rosa? Everyone who's still loyal? We get them out first. Set them up, make sure they're protected. Then we vanish. I nodded. It was a good plan. Clean, smart. But something bothered me. What about after? I asked. After we disappear. After we're just Reagan and Dante. No cartel. No family. No power. Who are we then? He considered that. I don't know. But I'd like to find out. You might not like what you find. I'm not easy. I'm difficult and stubborn, and I'll fight you on everything. I know. That's why I want you. I'm broken. So am I. Maybe broken together is better than whole apart. Over the next 2 days, we executed the plan. Marco evacuated my people, gave them new territories, new leadership. My empire dissolved cleanly. No bloodshed. Just release. Dante did the same, handed control to his cousin, made sure Rosa was set up in Sicily with extended family. Protected. We liquidated assets, moved money, covered tracks. And through it all, we worked together. He deferred to my expertise in logistics. I deferred to his in finance. We made decisions jointly, compromised, trusted. It felt good, better than good. It felt right. You know what's funny? I said one night, reviewing transfer documents. What? 2 weeks ago I would have rather died than work with you. Now I can't imagine doing this alone. Character growth. Personal development. Very therapeutic. Shut up. He grinned. leaned over, kissed my temple. Make me. But before I could respond, his phone buzzed. He checked it. His expression went dark. What? The FBI. They've tracked us. They're 15 minutes out. My stomach dropped. How? Does it matter? We need to move. Now. We grabbed our go bags, headed for the car. But as we reached the door, Dante stopped. Wait. What? We have to go. I need to tell you something first, in case we don't make it. Dante, there's no time. I love you. The words hung in the air. 3 words. 8 letters. Infinite implications. You don't mean that, I said. It's adrenaline. Fear. The situation. I mean it. I've known for days. Maybe since that first night on the terrace. Definitely since you walked away after the explosion. I love you, and I need you to know that. Before we run, before we fight, before whatever comes next. Every instinct screamed at me to deflect, to make a joke, to push him away. Because saying it back meant admitting vulnerability, admitting need, admitting that losing him would destroy me. But I'd promised to try, to be different, to choose connection over isolation. I love you too, I said, and it terrifies me. But I'm choosing you anyway, choosing us, even if it's insane. He kissed me, hard and desperate and perfect. Then, let's go be insane together. We ran. The FBI was closing in. 3 cars, 6 agents, guns drawn. We had seconds. Dante's hand found mine, gripped tight. Trust me? He asked. Always. We jumped. The warehouse had a back exit. Dante's contingency plan. Because of course he had a contingency plan. We made it to the car, peeled out as the FBI breached the building. For 10 minutes, we drove in silence. Adrenaline pumping, hearts racing. Then Dante started laughing. What? I demanded. We just escaped the FBI. We're fugitives. We've lost everything. We're starting over with nothing but fake passports and offshore accounts. And this is funny, because 3 weeks ago, we were enemies. Now we're partners in crime, literally. I couldn't help it. I started laughing too. It was insane. All of it. Completely insane. But maybe insane was exactly what we needed. 6 months later, we were in Costa Rica. The villa was small, modest. Nothing like the compound Dante used to own or the warehouses I used to operate from. But it was ours. We'd built a life here. Quiet. Peaceful. Anonymous. Reagan Santos and Dante Marchetti were gone. Dead, as far as the world knew. Lost in a warehouse fire during that final FBI raid. In their place were 2 people with new names. New identities. New purpose. We ran a security consulting firm. Helped people disappear when they needed to. Protected people who couldn't protect themselves. Used our skills for something other than territory wars and power plays. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. And it was ours. You ever miss it? I asked one evening, watching the sunset from our terrace. The power, the control, the empire. Dante pulled me against his chest. Sometimes. But then I remember what I have now. And it's better. Better than being a mob boss. Better than being alone. I turned in his arms. Looked up at him. This man who'd seen every part of me. The violence, the fear, the vulnerability, and chosen me anyway. I love you, I said. Still getting used to saying it out loud. Still terrified every time. I love you too, Principessa. Think we'll make it? Long term? Honestly, I have no idea. We're both disasters. We'll probably fight constantly. Make terrible decisions. Drive each other insane. So, no? So, probably yes. Because disasters together are better than perfect apart. And making terrible decisions with you is better than making smart ones alone. I kissed him. Soft. Slow. Perfect. Somewhere in the distance. Sirens wailed. Someone else's emergency. Someone else's war. But here, in this moment, we were safe. We were together. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't just surviving. I was living. Hey, Dante murmured against my lips. What? For what it's worth, I'm glad you sent that text to the wrong number. I smiled. Me too. And I meant it.